I'm Anton Krivulya. I'm from Belarus. I'm artist and musician. I left Belarus and moved to Moscow to try to find some new ways to live and to give my children the better education and find some new ways for my creative projects. I try to go away from the atmosphere of cultural hopeness in Belarus because society in Belarus is crushed and killed by dictatorship. And in Russia exists another kind of regime. It's more anarchic and more friendly for underground projects and underground movement. When the last president elections passed and society was broken, I understand that I have two ways. One way is to resist, to fight and have problems for me and my family, and another way is to live somewhere because to sit quietly and not to answer for this terror is not possible for me. In Belarus, the situation is good for making some deep things, new conceptions, things that are not in a social field. I think that creation of new nation in Belarus is in process. Ethic and aesthetic is linked one to each other, and if people becomes more ethical, then can understand aesthetical things, and that's a way to make society better.
Belarus, a country the US has described as Europe's last dictatorship.
Lukashenko made the visit to the Pope with his 5-year-old son Nikolai and ended the meeting with an invitation to the Pope to visit Belarus.
In order to be a dictator like Stalin,
that we have to apply as much pressure as we can on Belarus.
600 people, including opposition presidential candidates, were arrested after protesting against what international observers ruled a flawed election.
Opposition supporters, journalists, and a number of foreign ambassadors administration outside the government.
Overt dictatorship.
And just everything is so, it's like a bad dream. I just really want to wake up from it.
The whole situation, the whole society is like absurd theater, or the theater of absurd. And I suppose that you can write thousands of such plays here in Belarus, because situations which happen to you during the day, I mean, everywhere, just like fantastic material for such kinds of plays. Sometimes things happen you cannot logically explain, and it's very difficult because there are like written rules and unwritten rules, and you have to be in between. You have to find this balance in order to survive in this country.
When we speak about culture, it's more simple. When we speak about geopolitics, more trouble, because we are in the area of interest of Russia. We're trying to find our own place in these big crossroads.
not so many people tried to represent Belarus, and not Belarus, agricultural Belarus of Yanka Kupala, not these romantic times which we lost because of Soviet Union, but really the state of what Belarus is now. Me, hipster, 25 years, my mother, Soviet lady, show it, that is, let's say, just classical conflicts of fathers and children, but here it is also turn on this values battle.
Now Europe is a little bit sleepy, and we have all these things: post-colonization, post-Sovietization, Russification, and together with all this consumerism and McDonald's stuff. And you can see all this propaganda stuff together with McDonald's pockets and McDonald's things. It's wonderful for author. I think for regular people, for citizen, it's hardly to live in Belarus, and you don't have freedom and things like that. But as an author who can see, who can understand what's going on, I think it's paradise.
Дорогие мальчики, жизнь без вас просто кошмар. Я и мои подруги каждый день слушаем ваши прекрасные и восхитительные песни и с нетерпением ждем новых. А теперь к вам вопрос. Как работает микроскоп?
I'm telling all the people that we have a really binary system in our country. It's a country with two histories, two languages, two cultures. I don't know. It's like we have two unions of writers, one official and another independent. And usually it's only parallel line without any crossing. But it's really interesting.
Belarusian art and culture is divided in the same way as Belarusian society. There is no neutral position. Every musician, every artist should choose on which side he is. Or on the side of regime or on the side of free artists. If you are a free artist, you could be repressed or you could be put on a blacklist. Case loyal artists, they usually has a great access to all media, to TV channels, to festivals inside of Belarus, and they get a lot of money. Belarusian artists are in ghetto inside of the country.
In Belarus, you see, we have pop stars which don't create any media buzz. You see, we don't have yellow press. It's a problem in Belarus, you see. And the people, they are very shy. I mean that the stars, they are very shy. Nobody provokes anyone. No provocations. Nobody wants to show the money. Nobody wants to show that they are personality. So you see, everybody wants to be quiet. And if you are quiet, it's okay. Nobody notices you. Nobody will pay attention to you. That is the politics, and it's very boring, of course. And that's why we have pop singers, but they are invisible. You see.
Yes, there is a big difference between official culture and underground culture, independent culture. You can do practically everything, but you have to perform and to behave yourself in a way which is safe for the authorities. For example, we have this blacklist of musicians in Belarus who are not allowed to perform in the clubs.
It's not official blacklist. Nobody see this blacklist, but they can't organize the concerts. You can't hear this music on the radio and on TV also. And for example, somebody want to organize a concert. They wrote information everywhere in internet, and people came to the concert. They sell the tickets, and after the director of this club came and said, "Sorry, but we can't organize the concert today." Why? Some of them say that somebody called them, but who call, why call, what they say directly. They're afraid to lose their business and license. That's why. That's how it works. And you can't see this. And now it's a strange situation. You can came to the concert of Marilyn Manson, but you can't go to the concert of local band. That's an interesting situation.
There is not question of blacklist, but our society not understands them. And they think they are very important for us. They try to say us some things we don't understand, and our society don't understand. And that's why they think that they are repressed. Our society is very strong and very united. And government is the main factor of that unification. And if you are not in the mainstream of our society, you are like abroad. That is the problem.
I'm a little bit surprised. I've just thought that this concert would be cancelled, because there are a lot of groups that were not allowed to play for several years, and now they're here in the Republic Club. It's fine, it's okay. I'm very glad. In our country, it's possible that the police will come now, and everything will be closed after a few songs. There was such situations before, for sure, that the concert starts, few songs, and after that police come and show is closed, finished.
Вот мы работаем 2 года, у меня не было ни разу здесь проблем. Вот иногда возникают проблемы с организаторами, а речь идет о группе, которая там была в черном списке. Но я повторю, что здесь, в этом клубе, за 2 года у меня проблем там с властями вот по черному списку не было. На самом деле вопрос очень сложный, но вот я на него так ответил, по-моему, понятно, да? Всю историю, предысторию возникновения этих черных списков, спекуляции на черных списках, я не знаю, может быть, у этих людей, кто говорил так, есть какие-то основания так говорить. Но я повторюсь, у нас в клубе здесь проблем нет. Нет, на самом деле это, не все так просто, как я сказал. Вот. Но я очень дорожу клубом и, как сказать, в общем, я стараюсь, чтобы эта проблема здесь не возникала и не была связана с клубом.
When there was press conference of our president, and he said there that no, there's no such thing as blacklist. The next day, I was standing in the Department of Culture, asking for to sign an Asai gig for me, and he sang from this stage twice a year ago. He said, "Mr. Lukashenko, go to hell." And they called and just forget about Asai. So we're secret, no Asai. And right after that press conference, I was standing, sign on the crane. He knows that the president said that. He can't just say no, it's a blacklist. No, he can't. And he, okay, but without any songs about president. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about this, in fact, right now.
Hello everyone, I'm Anthony. I'm actually co-founder of this place. This is the first loft co-working space in Minsk, and I am kind of IT guy, and I support IT community in Belarus.
The most interesting situation is with the owner of a building. The owner of a building is a big commercial bank. At the beginning, I thought, well, if we'll show them that we are making real cultural space in their senseless property, that old abandoned industrial building, well, maybe they have to like it. But every day they are calling me about, well, they told me there was music in your space. I don't like it. Well, someone was filming movie in your space. Every day he's calling me with a new question about what are you doing inside? What are that nude girls inside? It's not nude girls, it's photo gallery. Or for example, it's masterclass for photographers. No, I'm afraid, maybe it's, you know, it's pyramid of fear. It starts from the very top. The guy on the top, he's frightened with falling from the top. Under him, there are a lot of guys in government. Thereabouts, they're frightened with the leader. Here in Minsk, the chief of a bank told me, no, I'm afraid. This is the key for Belarusian society, I'm afraid. Australian businessmen who came to that building to rent a place close to us and to pay big money to rent it because we were here and he wants to be close to the master project. But bank, he told us, is he good? Is he okay, that Australian guy? Do you know him? Maybe he's suspective, maybe he's not so good, maybe he's about KGB could not like him. I thought that the idea is not about KGB really. It's about the brain of people who are trying to see the hand of KGB in every point. That bird, maybe she's from KGB, she's looking at me. You know, it's the experience of dictatorship. When you have that experience of somebody is leading and somebody is dictator, you're creating the dictator in your brain. And I know it about myself. They don't see difference between, I don't know, political provocation and revolution and, I don't know, some kind of real protest in political way, and just making something independent. They don't see difference.
And modern art, some people there are not even try to understand it. What is it? And if the people are not understanding it, they get to fear it. Maybe there's some hidden ideas, or what kind of artist is it? Maybe this artwork isn't like a joke about something else, and they are afraid of something provocative. And half of contemporary art is very provocative. But I think that this position of the ministry represents and reflects the same situation in the society. Yeah, there is some topics that are off limits for the state, of course, but they are pretty clear what they are.
And one of our artists, Mikhail Gulin, had his project. It was a series of interventions into public spaces. He just placed the cubes painted in different colors, shooted everything like documentation, and replaced on another square. On the last point of their activities, it was Oktyabrski Square in the very center of Minsk. He and volunteers was kicked by police. Mikhail lost his work because he worked in a public institution in a university. Some of them just saw that it was a political action, but I'm so sorry. Please explain me, where is the connection between colored cubes and politics?
По закону я все сделал нормально, я ничего не делал предосудительного, я не выходил с политическим плакатом, я не устраивал митинг протестный там и так далее. Ничего не нарушил, все было нормально, подошел ОМОН и меня забрали, но ребят еще в РУВД избили, а нам предъявили совершенно нелепые обвинения в том, что мы якобы сопротивлялись при задержании, отказывались проследовать с милицией, толкались, упирались и так далее. Ну, это уже, собственно говоря, ложь, это фиктивное обвинение, и, конечно, тут ситуация абсолютно стала из такой рядовой, она превратилась в драматичную. И, в принципе, любое действие в городском пространстве, практически любое, воспринимается как политический жест. Делаешь ты, не делаешь это политическое заявление, практически в любой ситуации ты будешь в нем обвинен.
Belarusian language, it is not just an instrument of communication in Belarus, it's a sign and it's a value for society. Lukashenko made everything to destroy and to limit sphere of usage of Belarusian language. Practically there is no schools in Belarusian language, no universities with Belarusian. Russian domination in Belarus, it is connected not only with economy, with economical domination, but of course with cultural domination through the language. I have to prepare the presentation for Mova Cikava lessons. This is a very new, creative way how to attract, how to engage the youth, the young people, to make them interest of Belarusian culture, traditions, and language, of course, because in Belarus, language is also the way of protest. Well, now we are in a studio. It is a studio of the Radio Free Europe. It is one of the few independent radio stations and media in this country. I am responsible for website. I am in charge of several programs, and I'm also doing marketing for the radio. For example, this you can see plastic bags. It is also a very creative way how to spread information about the radio where all the legal ways are closed. So we are forbidden to put the advertisement in the metro, subway, in newspapers. We are not allowed because radio is not registered in Belarus. But for example, plastic bags, we just go into markets, giving these bags to sellers, vendors there, and they distribute it in the moment. Just in a few minutes, thousands of plastic bags are distributed by people themselves. And one time, police came to us and said, "What are you doing? It's like leaflet." I said, "It's just plastic bag." And the people, old people from the market, they started to defend us and say, "Oh, what are you doing, policeman? They're just giving us plastic bags." And so now I understand that leaflets and any printed production is totally forbidden in Belarus. But if you are just inventing the new format for your activity, you already having a place to be active. You can see that in Belarus, the only one way is to change, to bring changes, is to be creative, to think differently. Now it's not the time for political parties in Belarus. And during these Ukrainian events, political parties in Belarus, they lost a lot of support. Opposition is strongly infiltrated, demotivated. But I see a big need of cultural ideas, new initiatives, creative ways for activities. People attending language courses even during holidays. Три папірки на руках.
Хто є хто герої, які переписуються, може бути латинкой на Фейсбуку, ВКонтакте.
И поднимите руки, пожалуйста, кто когда-нибудь уживал белорусскую латинку? Белорусскую транслитерацию. Добро?
Today it was a stressful day, and that's a miracle that I'm still free, because in the morning dozens of people, 7, 8 and 9 o'clock, the same time they were arrested. All the day, trials. All the activists. But did you see the news feed today? Did you read anything? No?
Today, all the day, the news about the arrested activists. Now all my friends, colleagues, today were detained, arrested, stopped. Some of them are beaten, and most of them are already in a prison. All of them were detained without any real reason. And yesterday and this morning, police also was trying to catch me. They have paranoia that youth activists will make some performances, actions, flash mobs, demonstrations, and they arrested everyone. Today there were dozens of trials. Why I'm still not free? Because yesterday I came very, very late. I came something at 3 a.m. in the night, and probably police already left my place, but they were nearby all the evening. And this morning I woke up from the sound. Just maybe during 1 hour, they just beating the door all the time. Me and my father, we didn't react, we didn't open the door, we just listen and trying to understand what they speak about. After 2 hours, my father checked, they left the place. Nobody was around, and I very, very fastly, I left my flat. I went to the radio, to the office. After that, my sister called. My small sister, she is 16 years old. She came back home from the school, and they came once again. She was very, very scared. She wrote me also in the Skype that don't go home, and I was speaking to her. My father, he brought me the passport, and now I will try to leave Belarus. I remember 2010, I was hiding in a private flat of my friends, but finally they caught me. So I know that no sense to hide in Belarus. Yesterday, we have these lectures, many people came, transparently, openly, they could come there. You saw, yes? Nobody felt any risk. And today, everything changed, suddenly. Just the signal, the order, and they started hunting. Stupid, absolutely stupid country, I don't know.
Шаленым порции нового адреналину, беды я не пережил ни на хвилину, не натисну паузу.
Ну, первый раз мы его показывали, да, то есть как экзамен по мастерству актера, когда я еще был педагогом, да, то есть когда я преподавал в Академии искусств. И пришел только там несколько педагогов, которые не имеют отношения к кафедре. И один педагог, причем который преподавал на этом курсе, демонстративно ушел с криками с этого спектакля. Вот. Посреди спектакля через сцену прошел мимо актеров и, да, то есть как бы удалился.
It's very clear for us that art and theater, it spends a lot of money, and that's why Belarusian theater so depends on governmental support. That's why for me, for example, independent scene in Belarus is so interesting. Because, for example, I had a very big experience of watching independent theaters in Germany, in Poland, and I can say that they have a lot of opportunities, they have a lot of contacts, but sometimes I feel that they don't have such desperation in their work. For us, for example, for such artists like Evgeny Kornyakov, Svetlana Beny, it's a very easy choice. They can very easily not doing any performances, not doing any theater at all. They can earn money from other activities. They can get respect from official authorities when they make something not from their heart. And but they have chosen some other things, and these things, especially, I find very, very, very interesting.
Но в любом случае, ведь любой руководитель, если справляется, то он будет руководителем. Если не справляется, он уйдет. Или его уйдут. Поэтому это очень, могу сказать, что очень похоже. Жизнь прошлое и настоящее. Очень похоже. Это просто люди. Всегда общение с людьми. Вот это самое основное. Если умел это делать тогда, то это может делать и сейчас. Да, на что люди, да, вот как бы есть такое понятие. Всегда, чем легко человека заманить? Страхом, каким-то страшной вещью, да, секс. Если будем показывать, всегда будет зритель, да. И еще там третья вещь, я не помню какая. То есть, но это не культура уже получается, где, извините меня, обнаженной плотью привлекать зрителя в театр. Я не считаю, что это всегда высококультурно.
Maybe you know Belarus Free Theater. It's a great theater, artist collective, which is not able to perform legally in Minsk, in Belarus. They are based in London, and they are one of the most famous and most successful young collective in Great Britain now. And their reviews, positive 5-star reviews, appear in a Guardian, Independent, in the top of the media, of the world media on them.
They have little wood house. It's not far from the center of Minsk.
They can take only 50 people, and they use these things, and you have to call and to sign yourselves and to find this house. It was many cases when police were coming to the performance and taking everybody from actors and people who come to see the play to the police, or just having the information from the passport.
For me, for example, destiny of free theater, it's not about artistic level at all. It's something about struggling with the reality of Belarus everyday life. Our official authority, with this oppression, they give them material for making this kind of legend, kind of mythos.
It was one of the best cultural experiences in this country, and everybody after the performance say, "Oh, it happens in our country. I'm so glad. I can't believe it can't happen here," because everybody used to keep silence.
to make image as fighters with our state, I think for them it's some kind of business. You failed to realize your ideas in our country, then you stand against state, then you emigrate, and abroad you got image of fighter, and it's like for you like a ticket to Western society, because in the West they like fighters against dictatorship and so on and so forth. And of course, for them it's a good possibility to make image of such persons, such heroes. Well, it's their own way, but I don't agree with it.
Да, убрали все лишнее.
Борода, кажется, это больше мальчик.
Но, к сожалению, в Беларуси КГБ контролирует все. Это касается и сфер бизнеса, это касается и политических дел, и, к сожалению, театра. Театры занимаются, они обслуживают на сегодняшний день диктатуру. Надо понимать, что все, что могли, они сделали, потому что всех участников свободного театра уволили с государственных, так сказать, работ, с государственных театров и так далее. Да? Они не могут сейчас работать на телевидении, на радио, то есть они на самом деле просто, это по сути запрет на профессию, они не могут зарабатывать деньги, да, живя в Беларуси. А нас не прочтешь ни в одной газете белорусской, да, о наших там успехах, призах и так далее, театральных исключительно. То есть на самом деле мы в Беларуси как бы находимся в информационном вакууме. Театр был и задержан вместе со зрителями в 2005 году и арестован. Вопрос другой, что, к счастью, у нас есть доступ как бы к мировой прессе, и мы можем устраивать скандалы, которые не всегда выгодны диктатуре. Да? Это как-то позволяет нам, да, держаться в Беларуси.
At September last year, we lost our home, our space. Police start to push the owner of house which we rent, and also I have to administrate cases because of using space not for living, but for theater, for performance. And then we start to rent space for hours because nobody wants to have deal with us, because nobody wants to have problem. Just came, show and go out. It's absolutely now, it's more on the ground as it was. At the performance here in Minsk, we have maximum 60 people of audience only because of space. Abroad, it's thousands. And of course it's different. But here you could feel the energy. This is your people, and they could understand everything what you talk about. And that's what we try to do here in Belarus, to make people open. We don't give answers, we give questions. We don't know how we need to live here, what we should do, I don't know. We could say that, do you think this position is good? Do you happy with what you have now, or do you want to change something? We just give questions, and I think this is the most important thing what we do here. I was in jail at 2006 after president election, so now I know what it is. I don't want to repeat it, but I'm ready. I'm ready every day. If, okay, I know that it could be, doesn't matter, on the street. Doesn't matter what you do, what you talk about. It's just a game, it's just a game. Let's make a view that we are open, we could Okay. So why? No, don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Just if you. No. Yes.
Because
just I saw the police car. I don't want they saw you with and ask. I'm not sure that they're still there.
maybe we can go back.
Now everything is only in one hand, and it's not my hand. One person who talk what we should do. One person who talk how we should think. What kind of picture we should see. What theater we should have. I want to have choice. And of course, I'm agree that my choice could be wrong. But it's my choice. Yeah, so now the best way for us is just turn, but yeah. No, it's okay. Just yeah, and leave your camera here because they couldn't see. I think so. They couldn't see a camera because of me. So yeah, just let's turn. Yeah, you see. Again, I don't want to play this game. Come on, why I should scare to go in? It's my city, my streets. And you feel it every moment. You are ready to keep silence, be quiet, okay. But people are very scared to talk with each other. And people very scared to do something. And that's not what Belarusians should feel in.
Three days ago there was a trial under a book project, Belarus Press Photo. Some pictures in this book were named as extremist photographer.
Nobody understands what does it mean extremist photo. Like this. This is an extremism in our country. It's incredible thing, I think so. It's understandable at all. And sports like this, it's extremism too. The work of our reporters, about photo reporters, is not to present the country like really the best country in the world, but present the reality in our country. And the reality looks like this. Right now, it's a question about this album is an extremist album, but there is a possibility that in the future it will be, okay, you are the author of this photo, you are an extremist. And it means that you are going to a prison. And you go to the prison for this? Why? It's not a question of extremism in art at all. The art couldn't be extremist. That's why I don't understand why they decided to take these albums and to burn it. They decided to burn these books, like in Germany in the time of Hitler. It's about everyday life, about cultural life, about society. It's about everything. Because in a country like Belarus, you live in a total control with the KGB. You live in a country where propaganda means information. Independent art, it's politics. Independent media, it's about politics. every independent thing in our country, it's about politics. And that's why if you would like to be free person in this country, it means that you need to be really brave person. This year, this spring, we feel that it will be more liberal than year before. But I always say that this freedom, it's a fighting of everyday life. It's not like a given freedom. Okay, you're free and you'll do what you want. We woke up the morning and we don't know what will be in the evening.
In Belarus, it's always like this. So sometimes it's very, how to say, repressed times, and then, for example, as now, it's easier for journalists to come to Belarus as the next elections will be in 2 years. And everybody come and think, oh, that's fine here, so nobody are under pressure. But then they can come to each office and take everybody and all the equipment, your computers, and never give it back, as it was in 2000.
Of course, people tired, of course. I don't know how strong now we are and how long we could continue. We talk about me, I could continue. I'm ready to fight. I don't want to fight. I want to have peace world. Because it's all you live like most of people here, just quiet, don't think, don't do anything. It's not life for me. You could choose, you have choice.
When something becomes wrong, for 10 minutes or for 30 minutes, I'm thinking, well, I have to go from this country to any other country where it will be much more easier to do something. But maybe half an hour later, I become calm and feeling that I'm using the right way to do and it's the right place to do it. Why? Because we have so many contradictions that maybe it's very small possibilities, but maybe we can jump over the contemporary European model of so-called European democracy. Not like just to copy it, because we cannot copy it here. We have that post-Soviet spirit. In the same moment, we have very strong capital, every minute in contradiction, that I'm really feeling myself. I'm a participant in a very interesting experiment, maybe not very easy, but we need it. We need to try another system anyway, and we're trying it here.
I have this idea that actually we can build America from Belarus, but it would be bad America. What would be happening, I think that it would be also compromise between this Western liberal market ideology with what we have here, this suburb, local, traditional, authoritarian maybe idea.
It's not good time for living like just relax and have fun, have every day feel free, and that's kind of living. I mean, it's not good time for this, but it's good time for thinking, for try to do, to be active.
Я думаю, белорусская культура еще заявит о себе на мировом, на международном уровне. И благодаря, и знаете, благодаря чему? Благодаря нашему сложившемуся политическому строю в стране. Не хочется об этом говорить, но благодаря этому, на самом деле, у нас будет очень, мне кажется, что очень из-за этого проявится очень ярко, очень, как сказать, культурные моменты в стране.
I see the future of Belarusian art as a task for me. It's a very important period right now when we need to express ourselves. Because actually it was the hundreds of the years that nobody listened to Belarusian people. And we're used to that nobody cares what we want, what we like, what we are waiting for. For everyone in the world, such countries like Belarus, it's a big opportunity to write your name in the history, like a lot of people has already done. We don't have much stuff like in Italy, you know, all these old buildings, all this Dante Alighieri stuff and so on, but we have a lot of hungry people that are ready to do something.
Мешаешься черной точкой на белом. Под неподвижными снежинками звезд потеряло значение все, что значение имело. Ответ на вопрос оказался так прост. А потом ты стоишь и поешь в небо все песни, которые знаешь. Все вокруг, как тогда, когда мир был ребенком. А потом сворачиваешься в калачик и засыпаешь. Маленький мальчик на снежных пеленках. И снег! Снег, снег, мало ли снег, и с ног на голову ляг. Вот и весь секрет.